Hartley, this means that we're going to be asking every single person on the Flash an embarrassing story about you.
Yeah.
That's why
we don't have that much time. I mean, we only have an hour.
Grant, what do you got on him?
Yeah, what do you have on Hartley?
Where do I start? Hartley is someone that we actually, and he does this with me too. He's like, we love to give each other a hard time, but in actuality, like, he's a super professional, like, nicest person in the world. So I really don't have that much dirt on Hartley at the end
I
of the
don't
day.
think you can embarrass Hartley because he's so.
He'll embarrass himself first.
He'll embarrass himself before you even get the opportunity to. Like,
That's how I live my life. I beat people to the punch, and then they
Yeah.
have no ammo, you know.
So
Right, forget you two. I got stories. There was this one.
Thank you.
I'm kidding. No, I'm not. I'm not going to tell you.
Don't tell them about the streaking.
Oh, really? I thought everybody
Yeah.
knew about that.
we
Not
don't
Very
know
embarrassing.
about it. Go.
It's not a real thing.
Hartley likes to run around and show people.
Not a real thing. If you go back to high school, you'll find out about that, but not a real thing on the Flash.
It's been so fun that every 2 seconds I have to ban another person that keeps flashing on the screen.
Guys,
Our
stop
eyes
asking
there.
I am
questions.
so sorry. Here I have.
Oh.
I've ruined everything.
You also, by the way, posted my ATM pin. So I appreciate
And your social security number.
They also can see that I'm looking up like what I'm looking up on my Chrome right now. Giardia treatment for dogs. They can see that. Yeah.
Okay, now you're forgiven.
Yeah, we love dogs.
You're forgiven.
Oh.
Actually, Hartley, talk about your love of dogs.
Yes, and how we can help, by the way, how people can
Yeah.
help that are watching.
I think one of the biggest ways that people can help is if they're able to at this time, and I realize it's a very, very challenging time for people in so many different ways, but one of the biggest things that people can do is open up their home if they can foster an animal for even a week or 2 weeks or something like that, because that actually gets an animal out of the shelter and potentially opens up a kennel in a shelter and can sort of save 2 lives that way. Because despite what a lot of people think, there are still, unfortunately and tragically, kill shelters out there, and people wouldn't believe the numbers of animals that are euthanized on an annual basis. I think it's something like 10,000 a day in the United States of America that are euthanized, dog-wise. But that's one of the most powerful ways that people can help. But there's so many different ways. I mean, find rescues that really align with your views and everything like that. And there's really no wrong way. I think this is true of a lot of things. There's really no wrong way to be helpful. If you're moving the needle in any way, I think that's a great place to start. But for me, before I got Flash, I was unemployed as an actor, and I was working 4 or 5 different gigs, which is sort of, this ties into the actor's fun thing for me. I was, barely making ends meet. And I was working 6 and sometimes 7 days a week. And, it just really felt like, how can I keep doing this? And why am I doing this? So in terms of finding a sense of purpose, I started volunteering at the South LA Animal Shelter, which is one of the largest animal shelters in actually all the United States of America. Before COVID, there were nearly 400 dogs there, and I started volunteering there on a weekly basis every Saturday, and it gave me such a sense of service and purpose that it really has informed so many different aspects of my life and my growth and my personality, and it's something that to this day I still continue as often as I possibly can, and even to a degree remotely, having some meetings and trying to see how we can help, because it's just very much a part of who I am. And I think the other folks here would attest to that like it's like dogs and everything else for me in many, many ways.
He's being humble. He does more than just a little bit still. He will get on a plane to save a dog. He will drive across the border to save a dog. He will be on the phone for 12 hours if he has to in a row just to find a home for a dog. He's really, really amazing. Like, it's
His whole wardrobe is